Howdy howdy, Sue Devil here. In this video we're going to go through the Bloody Handz, all their units, lords, heroes, infantry, with all of their abilities and costs and the cost to chevron up each unit. We'll go through them in order from lords, heroes, infantry, missile infantry, cavalry, chariots, monsters, artillery, and rare monsters and beasts. And we'll start going through right now. So the first lord is just the Night Goblin War Boss. We'll take his abilities off so we can see his base cost is only 450 gold. You can put him on a Great Cave Squig for 400 gold. That gives him, he goes from having a silver shield to a bronze shield. It gives him 417 hit points, plus 47 speed, and plus 30 charge bonus. And he becomes anti-infantry when he's on that. So he starts with 29-31 hit points and does do poison damage. And let's see, does he have a true anti-infantry on this? Yeah, bonus versus infantry 40. Wow, that's really good. Alright, and his abilities are Get Back Here. That is every 60 seconds for 14 seconds. It's a range of 40 meters around him, plus 16 leadership for 80 gold. Then Wah, it's a cost of 156 gold, plus 44 melee attack for 25 seconds around himself, for a range of 40 meters. Then he has Spite of the Bad Moon, 21 seconds every 90, 40 meter radius, plus 48 missile parry with shield, and expert charge defense for a cost of 160 gold. And his items are a Potion of Foolhardiness, which is 1 time 31 second buff for 36% charge bonus and makes him unbreakable for a cost of 77 gold. And the Tormentor Sword, interesting. That is a 9-second hex you can cast every 90 seconds, and every enemy within 30 meters will come to a complete stop for 9 seconds and have minus 26 melee attack, and it costs 160 gold. So the next lord is just the basic Orc War Boss, and his base cost is 900 gold. He has a bronze shield, 450 weapon strength, 170 of that is armor piercing, a 60 charge bonus. Does have encourage, hide, missile resistance of 15. And he has 2 mounts. You can put him on a war boar for an extra 300 gold. That will give him 477 more hit points, plus 26 speed, plus 1 melee defense, and plus 20 charge bonus. And he becomes armor piercing. Interesting. So what's that armor piercing element when he's on the war boar? Goes up to 280 armor piercing from 170, so it's a pretty big deal. He can also put him on a wyvern. That gives him plus 972 hit points, plus 74 speed, poison attacks. On that wyvern, let me see, he has minus 13 melee attack, minus 15 melee defense. He does have armor piercing and a plus 25 charge bonus. So when he's on there, he also has scaly skin. It helps to dampen or deflect damage. So missile resistance 25%. It does cause fear and terror, and does do poison attacks, and like I said, is the armor piercing. Alright, so his abilities are, I'll click off here. Foe Seeker for 60 for the duration is 25 seconds every 60 seconds. On himself only, plus 24% speed, plus 18% vigor, and the cost is 80 gold. And he has Wah. That is a 25-second buff. He can cast every 90 seconds. It's around him with a 40-meter radius. And that's plus 44 melee attack for a cost of 156 gold. And his items are the Opal Amulet, plus 22% damage resistance for 22 seconds just on himself. And he can cast that every 60 seconds for 80 gold, and he can have a Potion of Strength. That's plus 40% armor piercing damage and plus 40% weapon damage, a cost of 80 gold. It's only one-time use for 30 seconds, but that could stack up on his war boar pretty quick. Alright, so the next lord we have is a Great Goblin Shaman. We'll get rid of his abilities and spells to get his base cost. Alright, his base cost is only 350 gold. You can put him on a giant wolf. That makes him very fast. Gives him an extra 291 hit points, 59 speed. Yeah, he goes from 30. That is incredibly fast. And plus 30 charge bonus. The abilities he can get are evasion. So it's constant around himself for 81 gold. It's plus 5 melee defense and plus 6% speed. That's not too bad for 81 gold. He can get Sneaky Stealin'. It's a Hex of the Winds. It's constant around himself. It's active if he's casting, and the range is map wide. So it's reduced power recharge rate and a cost of 80 gold. So it reduces your enemy's winds of magic, I guess, or recharge rate. And he can get Arcane Conduit. Duration's 40 seconds. Targets himself. He gets an improved power recharge rate and improved power reserves. Cast it every 90 seconds, and it costs 160 gold. Now his spells are Sneaky Stabbin', 19-second duration. Cast it on himself or an ally within 200 meters. 4 winds of magic. The effects are 20% armor piercing damage boost and plus 26 melee attack for only 79 gold. Vindictive Glare, 5 winds of magic. You target an enemy up to 250 meters away. It's magic missiles. It causes moderate magic damage, good from a high angle, strong versus a single combatant, good against large combatants, and weak against armor for 78 gold. Itchy Nuisance, which is 8 winds of magic. It's a hex that lasts for 25 seconds. You can target the ground or an enemy and up to 200 meters away. The range is 40 meters, and the effects are minus 25% weapon damage and minus 26 melee attack for a cost of 164 gold. He can have Gorkle Fix-It, 7 winds of magic. It's a hex. It lasts for 21 seconds. You can cast it on the ground or an enemy with up to 200 meters away. Again, a range of 40 meters. The effects are minus 18% charge bonus, minus 24% speed, and minus 18% vigor. Cost of 159 gold. Night Shroud, 9 winds of magic. Type Hiding, a duration 75 seconds. He can cast it on himself or an ally up to 300 meters away. It gives them stalk, and they can only be spotted at a very close range. It gives them unspottable. 234 gold. You can cast it every 48 seconds, and it lasts for 75 seconds. Interesting. And Curse at a Bad Moon, which is a vortex spell, 22-second duration. It's 11 winds of magic. You target the ground up to 150 meters away, causes moderate magical damage, can disrupt unit formations. It's medium, randomly moving area of effect, and strong versus multiple combatants. Multiple units, weak against armor. And on contact, it gives you Dynasty Curse for 22 seconds. That's minus 24% speed, minus 30 armor, and minus 26 melee attack for a cost of 238 gold. The items he can get are the Scroll of Leeching, which is a hex on an enemy up to 100 meters away, one-time use, greatly reduced power recharge rate for 80 gold. And the Crown of Command, it can cast it on himself every 90 seconds for a duration of 30 seconds, or an ally 100 meters away, and it makes them unbreakable. That is your Great Goblin Shaman. And finally, Wurzag. Okay, he has a lot of abilities here. We'll just click them all off. So Wurzag's base cost is only 550 gold. He does have Frenzy, so that gives him plus 12% weapon damage, plus 8% charge bonus, plus 8 melee attack, and he is immune to psychology. It's disabled if his leadership is lower than 50%, so that just comes with him. And he does have physical resistance of 25%. His weapon strength is only 340 though. Armor piercing 95, very low. Good charge bonus though. And you can put him on Spleen Rippa. That does make him armor piercing for 300 gold. Now let's look at some of the other things you get. That armor piercing goes up to 240, which is actually quite good. And you get 414 more hit points, plus 25 armor, plus 26 speed, and plus 25 charge bonus. Now his abilities, which are quite a few actually. Power of Dawa, which is Augment of the Winds. It's constant, targets himself. It's active if he's casting, and it gives him an improved power recharge rate for 25 seconds, and the cost is 78 gold. He can get War Paint of Wurzag. It's a ward save. It's constant on himself and allies in range within 40 meters. Gives everyone an 11% physical resistance for a cost of 78 gold. He can get Wurzag's Revenge. It's a hex constant around himself and affects enemies in range map wide. Gives them a 50% miscast chance for 242 gold. He can use Get Back Gear every 60 seconds for 14 seconds. It's around himself and a 40 meter range plus 16 leadership at a cost of 80 gold. And Effigy to Git, which he can only use twice. It's direct damage, duration 13 seconds. You can target an enemy up to 100 meters away, causes damage to combatants. It's strong versus a single combatant. There's a chance the opponent will resist the damage. It's weak versus multiple combatants. And they cannot move. Or he cannot move, maybe. I don't know. 246 gold. Spells. Gaze of Mork. Magic missiles. 5 winds of magic. You can target up to 250 meters away. Causes moderate magical damage. Good from a high angle. Strong versus a single combatant. And good against large combatants. I assume like giants. Weak against armor. Cost of 78 gold. Brain Bursta. It's an explosion. 7 winds of magic. Duration is 14 seconds. You target the ground up to 200 meters away. Causes moderate magical damage. Large explosion area. Strong versus a single unit. Weak versus a single combatant. And weak against armor. So it would be good against one infantry unit or something like that. Cost of 83 gold. Fist of Gork. 7 winds of magic. An augment for 28 seconds on yourself or an ally up to 200 meters away. It imbues magical damage and gives you plus 26 melee attack and plus 27 melee defense. Cost of 162 gold. Edbutt. It's a breath spell. Duration is 18 seconds. 9 winds of magic. You can target the ground up to 150 meters away. It causes moderate magical damage, can disrupt unit formation, short, wide, expanding, tier-shaped attack, strong versus a single unit, weak against armor for 162 gold. Here we go. 11 winds of magic, lasts for 38 seconds. It affects yourself or an ally up to 200 meters away for a 40 meter range, plus 44 melee attack for 266 gold. Finally, he has Foot of Gork, which can be crushing versus cavalry. It's an explosion, 18 winds of magic, so it's expensive. Target the ground up to 200 meters away, causes massive magical damage, can disrupt a unit formation, huge explosion area, strong versus multiple units, weak versus single combatant for 232 gold. And his items are Squiggly Beast, Augment of the Winds, constant around himself, improved power recharge rate, and increase to power reserve for 243 gold. And the Bonewood Staff. It's an augment, or an area augment, constant around himself and affects allies in range. It's active if he's casting, and the effective range is map wide. Triggers when casting a spell. For 17 seconds, gives everyone plus 13 melee attack, plus 18% charge bonus, and costs 244 gold. So that are your heroes for the Bloody Hands. Or sorry, the lords. The heroes are, starting with the Goblin Big Boss. Starts off at only 300 gold, does have a silver shield, and 360 weapon damage, which is 120 is armor piercing. You can give him 2 mounts. One is a giant wolf, which gives him 342 hit points, plus 57 speed, and he is a duelist, by the way, so melee specialist, and plus 20 charge bonus. And what is this? Let me stock. Okay. You can also put him for, that's 100 gold. For 200 gold, you can put him on a giant spider. It gives him poison attacks, plus 462 hit points, plus 10 armor, plus 43 speed, and plus 30 charge bonus. So when he's on that, he also has Strider, so he doesn't have any penalties caused by terrain. Alright, his abilities are Slippery. So it's an augment for 25 seconds. You can use it every 60 seconds. It's plus 27 melee defense, plus 24% speed for 80 gold. And the items he can get are the Potion of Foolhardiness, 31 second duration, one-time use, 36% charge bonus, and Unbreakable. And he can also get the Sword of Antiheroes, which is an augment for 40 seconds on himself, plus 20% armor piercing damage, and plus 20% weapon damage for a cost of 157 gold. You can use it every 90 seconds. The next hero is the Night Goblin Shaman. And your Night Goblin Shaman's base cost is only 150. Wow, that's crazy. These goblins are very cheap. One might even say expendable. So Night Goblin Shaman doesn't have a mount option. Starts at 150 gold, only 2,500 hit points. He does do poison damage, but very low melee attack and melee defense and very low weapon strength. He does have stock and Vanguard deployment. Interesting. Okay, so he is hard to see. His abilities are, for 80 gold, Sneaky Stealing, a Hex of the Wind. It's constant around himself. It's active if he's casting, and it gives your enemies a reduced power recharge rate for 25 seconds for 80 gold. And Madcap Mushrooms. You can cast it every 90 seconds. It lasts 50 seconds. It's an augment on himself. The miscast chance is 25% less, and minus 30 ability recharge, minus 30 seconds for 160 gold. The spells he can get are Sneaky Stabbin', 19-second duration, 4 Winds of Magic. You can cast it on yourself or an ally up to 200 meters away, plus 20% armor piercing damage, and plus 26 melee attack for 79 gold. Vindictive Glare, magic missiles for 5 Winds of Magic. You can hit an enemy up to 250 meters away, causes moderate magical damage, good from a high angle, strong versus a single combatant, good against large combatants like giants for 78 gold. Itchy Nuisance for 8 Winds of Magic is a hex for 25 seconds. You can cast it on the ground or an enemy up to 200 meters away. The range is 40 meters around that cast point, and its effects are minus 25% weapon damage and minus 26 melee attack for 25 seconds. Yeah, 164 gold for that one. He has Gorkle Fix-It. It's a hex for 7 Winds of Magic. The duration is 21 seconds. You can target the ground or an enemy up to 200 meters away, and the effective range is 40 meters. And the effects are minus 18% charge bonus, minus 24% speed, and minus 18% vigor for 159 gold. Night Shroud, which is a hiding spell for 9 Winds of Magic. The duration is 75 seconds, a very long time. You can cast it every 48. You can cast it on yourself or an ally up to 300 meters away, gives them stock, and makes it so they're very, very hard to spot. Basically, they disappear if they're far enough away for 234 gold. And lastly, Curse of the Bad Moon for 11 Winds of Magic. It's a vortex spell for 22 seconds on the ground up to 150 meters away, causes moderate magical damage, can disrupt unit formation, medium randomly moving area effect, and strong versus multiple units and weak against armor. And on contact, it gives you Dynasty Curse for 22 seconds, minus 24% speed, minus 30 armor, and minus 26 melee attack. It's pretty powerful, actually. Cost is 238 gold on that. And his items are the Scroll of Leeching. It's a hex for 44 seconds on the enemy, greatly reduced power recharge rate, one-time use for 80 gold, and the Wand of Jet. You can use it every 60 seconds for 57 seconds. It's Augment of the Winds on yourself, increased power reserves, increased power recharge rate, plus 30 to ability recharge in seconds. Cost of 76 gold, so it makes your abilities take longer to recharge, but increases your magic a lot. Okay. The next hero is the Orc Shaman. Now we'll just take off his abilities and his spells. And his base cost is only 300 gold. He's a spellcaster, only 310 weapon strength, 55 leadership, very low. Nothing special down here. You can put him on a war boar. That does give him armor piercing for 300 gold, plus 417 hit points, plus 25 armor, plus 29 speed, minus 50 weapon strength, but a much bigger portion of armor piercing, and plus 30 charge bonus. So let's just check that out. With this boar, he has 180 armor piercing. Without the boar, he has 95, so almost double. His abilities are the Power of Dewa. It's constant around himself. It's active if he's casting. Improved power recharge rate for 25 seconds for a cost of 78 gold. And Evasion. It's constant around himself, plus 5 melee defense, plus 6% speed for a cost of 81 gold. The spells you can use are Gaze of Mork. It's a magic missile for 5 Winds of Magic. Projectile range is 250 meters, causes moderate magical damage, good from a high angle, strong versus single combatant, good against large combatants like a giant, weak against armor, cost of 78 gold. Brain Bursta. It's an explosion. 7 Winds of Magic. The duration is 14 seconds. You can target the ground up to 200 meters away. Causes moderate magical damage, large explosion area, strong versus a single unit like an infantry unit, weak versus a single combatant like a lord, and weak against armor for 83 gold. Fists of Gork for 7 Winds of Magic. It's an augment for 28 seconds on yourself or an ally up to 200 meters away. It imbues magical damage and gives them plus 26 melee attack and plus 27 melee defense for 162 gold. He has Edbutt for 9 Winds of Magic, breath spell, duration 18 seconds, targets the ground up to 150 meters away. It causes moderate magical damage, can disrupt unit formations, short, wide, expanding teardrop attack, strong versus a single unit, like an infantry unit, weak against armor for 162 gold. Here we go for 11 Winds of Magic, 38 second duration. You can cast it on yourself or an ally in range up to 200 meters away. The range is 40 meters around them for plus 44 melee attack for 38 seconds at 260 gold. It's pretty strong. And lastly, Foot of Gork. It's an explosion, 18 Winds of Magic, very expensive. Cast it on the ground up to 200 meters away from yourself, causes massive magical damage, can disrupt unit formation, huge explosion area, strong versus multiple units, especially big units like cavalry, weak versus a single combatant, cost of 232 gold. Alright, the items you can get are the Scroll of Shielding. It's a ward save, 57 seconds, one time use, 22% damage resistance. You can cast it on yourself or an ally up to 100 meters away for 80 gold. The Skull Wand of Kaloth, 120 seconds. You can use it every 120 seconds as an augment for 27 seconds on yourself. It gives you plus 26 melee attack, plus 50% weapon damage, and an imbues Discourage for 10 seconds, minus 16 leadership. That could be really good. 242 gold. You could definitely route some units with that. Interesting. And that's the Orc Shaman. Alright, so we'll get to the infantry. We'll start with the goblins. Your basic goblin unit comes in at 300 gold and does have a silver shield, poor leadership, expendable, and I believe that means if they get killed, it will not affect the leadership of any of the units around them. Yeah, expendable. Witnessing friendly, expendable units route does not reduce others' leadership unless they themselves are expendable. Interesting. Okay, so how much does it cost to chevron them up, and how many stats do we get? So the first one is 18 gold, 18, 19, 21, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, and that will get them up to 488 gold from 300, and at that stat level they get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 10 melee defense. Alright, next unit is the Night Goblins. They are cost of 400, so a full 100 gold more. They are still expendable, but they do have poison damage. And Vanguard deployment and stock. So these guys can get right up close and deployed anywhere. Very easy to hide. How much does it cost to level them up? The first chevron is 21, 21, 22, 24, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. And that gets them up to a total cost of 614 gold from a starting point of 400, and at that level they have plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, plus 10 melee defense. And of course they will have a little bit of vigor in there. Alright, so we'll take a look at the next unit, which is a Night Goblin Fanatic. For 450 gold, so an extra 50 gold, what do you get for that, just out of curiosity? You just get this special ranged weapon, which is Spinning Lute. Everything else looks to be the same as the regular Night Goblin, health, everything else. So you get with your Night Goblin Fanatic for an extra 50 gold, 3 uses of a Vortex-like ability. Duration is 12 seconds. You target the ground up to 60 meters away. Causes armor-piercing damage, small moving area of effect, strong versus multiple units, unpredictable release from unit, weak versus single combatant. So that's when they send units spinning around into the enemy. So ranking those guys up costs 23 gold, 22, 24, 25, 21, 27, 27, 29, 29. For a total of 677 gold at 9 chevrons from 450 gold, and that will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and plus 10 melee defense. On to the next unit is your Orc Boys. So your basic frontline infantry unit starts at 450 gold, very low armor. They are shielded though, and they do not have armor piercing. Alright, so their cost is 450, so to rank them up, chevron them up, it costs 23 gold, 22, 24, 25, 21, 27, 27, 29, 29, for a total of 677 gold at 9 chevrons from 450. That will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and plus 10 melee defense all the way at 9 chevrons. The next unit is the Nasty Skulkers. So their claim to fame is they have stock and armor piercing and vanguard. They have very vanguard deployment. So their armor piercing is actually 18, pretty good. Melee attack is okay at 26. Their melee defense is awful, and they have no armor. What do they have here? Smoke bomb. Use it every 90 seconds. Duration 21 seconds around themselves. Range is 30 meters, minus 76% charge speed and minus 76% speed for 21 seconds. And Opportunist Murderer. It's an augment for 15 seconds. You have looks like you have 3 uses. Target yourself in melee, winning melee combat. It recharges if you're winning melee combat, plus 13 melee attack and plus 40% armor piercing damage. These guys are pretty good. 500 gold. Alright, so let's see about chevroning these guys up. They do have very low leadership at 40. That's the big downfall to these guys, and very low armor. Alright, chevroning them up is 24 gold for the first one, 24, 25, 27, 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 31 for a total of 740 gold at 9 chevrons. That will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and only plus 8 melee defense. The other ones have been getting plus 10. Interesting. Alright, the next unit we're going to look at is the Warlord's Boys. These are a regiment of renown, so of course you cannot chevron them up. They are shielded. They have stock armor sundering. So stock armor, where's armor sundering? Here it is. So when they hit something, for 10 seconds they have minus 30 armor. They do come with silver shields, but they're not going to get hit by anything with that stock. And their weapon strength is 27 with only 6 armor piercing, so that sundering is a pretty big deal for them. Alright, 550 gold for these guys. The next is the Savage Orcs, Wurzag's favorites. They are damage dealers. They have Frenzy and War Paint, so the Frenzy gives them plus 12 leadership, plus 12% weapon damage, plus 8% charge bonus, and plus 8 melee attack, and they are immune to psychology when their leadership is higher than 50%. So I guess it would be above 27. No, 25. Sorry, 29. Alright. Good speed at 37. Melee attack is 28. It's not bad. Their melee defense is very low. Their weapon strength is got 9 armor piercing, which isn't too bad. Good charge bonus. And they do have 25% physical resistance, even though they have 0 armor. And that's from that War Paint. So ranking them up, they start at 550. So let's rank them up. They start, their first chevron is 26 gold, 25, 27, 28, 23, 30, 30, 32, 32, for a total of 803 gold at a rank 9 Savage Orc. That will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and only plus 8 melee defense. Next unit we're going to look at is another regiment of renown, the 8-Peak Loonies. They cost 600 gold. They have a special ranged weapon. They have stock and poison attacks. So they're ranged weapons. The Loonies of 8 Peaks is a vortex spell. Duration 12 seconds. You can target the ground up to 90 meters away. Causes armor piercing damage. Small moving area effect. Strong versus multiple units. Weak versus a single combatant, and unpredictable release from unit. They have 3 charges of that. And they have Unbreakable. Doesn't suffer from any leadership penalties. So these guys will not break. They have stock and vanguard. So good little unit that for 600. And their stats are not bad either. 36 melee attack and 33 melee defense is not too bad at all. Very, very low armor though. Like all goblins, pretty much. Then we have the Orc Biguns, starting at 800 gold. Really the mid-tier infantry. They're bigger in ardor, which I don't know precisely what that means. Damage dealer. So their weapon strength is 42. They do have a bonus versus large of 8 and 13 armor piercing damage, which isn't too bad. 38 melee attack is alright. Their melee defense is very low, and their armor at 50 is pretty weak. The leadership isn't that great. Let's see what happens when we rank them up and how much they cost. So the first chevron is 33 gold, 33, 34, 36, 28, 37, 38, 39, 40, for a total of 1,118 gold from 800, and at that level they get plus 10 leadership, plus 7 melee attack, and plus 11 melee defense. So they had a good boost to their melee defense compared to their goblin brothers. Next unit we're going to look at is the Savage Orc Big Guns. Alright, so these guys are a damage dealer. They're bigger in Ardor, and they have War Paint, which gives them 25% physical resistance. They do have Frenzy, 12% leadership boost, plus 8% charge bonus, and plus 8 melee attack, and they're immune to psychology when their leadership is higher than 50%. Leadership is still a little low, but 37 speed is very good, and 42 weapon strength. That is 13 armor piercing, which ain't bad, and a bonus versus large of 8. Alright, so let's see what happens when we rank them up. They start out at 900 gold. The first chevron is 36 gold, 36, 37, 39, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, for a total of 1,244 gold at a rank 9. So they start out at 900, and at rank 9 they get plus 10 leadership, plus 7 melee attack, and only plus 9 melee defense. Alright, Savage Orc Big Guns. Now, of course, we have everyone's favorite, the Black Orcs, at 1,150 gold. They are armored, armor piercing, 50 weapon strength, 36 armor piercing damage, immune to psychology, decent melee attack, still poor melee defense, but very good armor to make up for it, and very good leadership, though they are a little bit slow at 29 speed. Alright, so ranking these Black Orcs up from 1,150 costs 44 gold, 43, 45, 46, 35, 48, 48, 50, 50, and that will get them to a peak cost of 1,559 gold, and at that rank, for 9 chevrons, you get plus 10 leadership, plus 7 melee attack, and plus 10 melee defense. Alright, and the last unit for 1,400 gold is the Crimson Killers, a regiment of renown. They're Black Orcs, armored, armor piercing, anti-infantry, and armed to the teeth. So they have 115 armor, and let's see their weapon strength. 38 armor piercing and 14 weapon damage, so it doesn't show a true anti-infantry bonus here. I wonder why not. It could be hidden. Good stats though, 42 melee attack, 36 melee defense, which isn't bad. Very good leadership at 80. Good charge bonus at 30. 1,400 gold though, pretty pricey. Alright. The next units we're going to go into is the Missile Infantry, and we start with the basic Goblin Archer at 375 gold. They are expendable, they're weak against armor, they only have 115 range, their missile damage is 16 and only 1 armor piercing, very poor, and they have very bad leadership at 40 and low armor at 25. Yeah, the Goblin Archers are just fodder, but I've seen them used quite well in many online games if they're allowed to just pick away. Especially if someone's sundering armor or they get on top of a lightly armored target, but their range is so short, 115. That's the hard part. They have a lot of ammo though. 24 is not bad. All right, so what happens when we rank these guys up? It only costs 20 gold, 20, 22, 23, 20, 24, 25, 26, 28, and that will get them up to 583 gold from a starting of 375. The stats that they have at that rank 9 is plus 10 leadership, plus 3 melee attack, plus 7 melee defense, and plus 3 missile damage. Alright, next unit we're going to look at is Night Goblin Archer, so they are significantly more expensive at 500 gold. They still only have 115 range, but they do poison attacks in melee and with their arrows. They do have Vanguard deployment and stock, and they are still expendable, which is actually pretty good. Their leadership is pretty low though. Alright, good ammunition. Yeah, their melee stats are awful. Okay, so what happens when we rank these guys up? It costs 24 gold, 24, 25, 27, 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, for a total of 740 gold at rank 9 chevrons from 500 gold to start. And at rank 9 they have plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 3 missile damage. Alright, next unit we have is the Orc Error Boys. Alright, they start at 500 gold, same as the Night Goblin Archers. They are quite a different unit though. They do have a lot more range at 140. Their missile damage has armor piercing of 5. Let me see about these Night Goblin Archers. What is their missile damage? Still only 1 armor piercing, okay. So you do get a little more armor piercing with these Orc Error Boys. And definitely more range, a little bit less ammunition though. Alright, so they start at 500. What happens when we rank them up? They cost 24 gold, 24, 25, 27, 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, for a total of 740 gold at rank 9 chevrons from 500 starting. That gives them plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 7 melee defense, and plus 4 missile damage. So that ranks their missile damage up quite a bit actually, up to 25. Alright, so there's your Orc Error Boys. And now we're going to look at the Night Goblin Archers, the Fanatics version, for 550 gold. So for an extra 50 gold, well, let me see. Yeah, for an extra 50 gold, you get only this ability here, which is Spinning Loons. Same vortex, 3 uses, 90 seconds apart. Causes armor piercing damage, small moving area effect, strong versus multiple units, unpredictable release from a unit, and weak versus a single combatant. So that's when they send their spinners out. Very poor leadership. They do again have poison damage on both their melee and missile. Let's see what it costs to rank them up. So it's 26 gold, 25, 27, 28, 23, 30, 30, 32, 32, for a total of 803. For a rank 9 unit starting at 550, and for that you get plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 3 missile damage. Alright, now we have, for the same price of 550, the Savage Orc Error Boys. They are 550, they have a good range of 140, missile damage, does have 5 armor piercing, which isn't bad at all. Good ammunition at 22. Their melee defense is awful at 8. They do have physical resistance of 25% and this Frenzy, which is plus 12% weapon damage, plus 8% charge bonus, plus 8 melee attack when their leadership is above 50%, and they're immune to psychology until their leadership is below 50%, so 26 leadership. Alright, so what happens when we rank these Savage Orc Error Boys up? It costs 26 gold, 25, 27, 28, 23, 30, 30, 32, 32, for a total of 803 gold for a rank 9 Savage Orc Error Boy from 550, and at that rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 5 melee defense, and plus 4 missile damage. Alright, and last but definitely not least are the Rusty Arrows for 600 gold. These guys are pretty awesome. They have Vanguard deployment, armor sundering, which is a pretty big deal, stock, and poison attacks. A very, very nice combination. Vanguard deployment and stock. So armor sundering, again, when they hit something for 10 seconds, they have minus 30 armor. Their missile damage is only 20, and they only do 1 armor piercing missile damage, but that armor sundering is a pretty big deal. And their melee attack is poison. Doesn't look like their missile damage has any element of poison, just armor sundering. So they, in melee, they do poison, and their melee attack is 23 and melee defense is 29. Not awful. And they only have 15 armor, but that's not too bad. Very good unit for 600 gold, that's for sure. Just very short range, 115. That's not so great. Alright, so we're going to look at the Cav and Chariots, and we're going to start off with the Goblin Wolf Riders. For only 300 gold, these guys are shielded, only a bronze shield, and very fast. 92 is no joke. That is incredibly fast. Their melee stats are pretty poor, 22 and 20. Charge bonus is 18, but they are expendable, and they can get around the field. So what does it cost to chevron these Goblin Wolf Riders up? It costs 18 gold, 18, 19, 21, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, for a total of 488 gold at rank 9 from 300. And at that rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 9 melee defense. Alright, next unit, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. They are 100 more gold than the Goblin Wolf Riders. but they do have poison. They do poison damage, and they are shielded. And they have Strider, so they can run through water, stuff like that causes terrain penalties. So they maintain their speed at 78. All right. Let me see. Melee stats, not great, but 30 melee defense, so they can hang in there reasonably well for a unit that only costs 400 gold, that's for sure. Especially doing that poison. Like, poison is, it's not really harsh, but it's nasty. For 10 seconds, that's minus 20% armor-piercing missile damage to whatever you're hitting, minus 24% speed, minus 20% weapon damage, minus 20% armor-piercing damage, and minus 20% missile damage. So it can be pretty nasty. Alright, so what does it cost to chevron these guys up? The first chevron is 21 gold, 21, 22, 24, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, for a total of 614 gold at rank 9 from 400 gold starting. At rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 41 melee defense, or plus 11 melee defense, which is actually pretty good. Very good stat boost is what it looks like for them compared to some of the other goblin units. Alright, we'll look next at the Moon Howlers. Goblin Wolf Riders. This are a regiment of renown, so we cannot rank them up. They're shielded and very fast. Their leadership still is low at 54, but 92 run speed. They cause fear. Okay, they have Vanguard deployment, and they hide in the forest. So that fear, rear charging with these guys could be a pretty big deal, actually, in late game, if you can keep them alive, because their stats aren't bad. 30 melee attack, 28 melee defense. Weapon strength is 24. Only 5 armor piercing, so they're not going to kill a whole lot unless they hit them in the back on the charge, which is what goblins are very good at, hitting things in the back. And they cost 500 gold. Interesting little unit, actually. I don't know how easy they would be to use, but cool. Here we have the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, 650 gold. These are anti-infantry, armor piercing. They have Vanguard deployment and do poison attacks. These guys are just nasty. And they're immune to psychology. What's their anti-infantry? So, wow, bonus versus infantry of 10, armor piercing of 19, weapon damage of 8, 26 charge bonus. Holy, these guys really are nasty. It's that leadership, though, and only 25 armor. So very poor leadership, but they hit you with poison, armor piercing, bonus versus infantry, speed of 82 as well, so they're pretty quick. Alright, so how much does it cost to chevron these guys up? Well, from starting gold of 650, their first chevron is 29 gold, 28, 30, 31, 25, 33, 33, 35, 35, for a total of 929 gold at a rank 9 for the Squig Hoppers, starting at 650, and at rank 9 you have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, plus 8 melee defense, and of course a little bit of vigor. Alright, good little unit. Alright, we'll go to the Orc Boar Boys. They are the same as the Squig Hoppers for 650 gold. They do have more leadership. They have a shield, and they also have armor piercing, and they're anti-infantry, but it doesn't look like they have a true bonus versus infantry. So it says anti-infantry, but down here there is no bonus versus infantry. Very good charge bonus at 46 though. Melee attack is very low at 20. So this is a cycle charging beast. Alright. So they start at 650 gold. Their chevrons cost 29 gold, 28, 30, 31, 25, 33, 33, 35, 35. For a total of 929 gold for a rank 9 Orc Boar Boy from 650. And at rank 9 you have plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 9 melee defense. And of course there will be a little bit of vigor in there for the Orc Boar Boys. Next we have the Durkit Squigs. This is a regiment of renown, so it cannot be ranked up. It only costs 750 gold. This has everything your regular Squig has. Just let me see. Regular Squig. Let me see. Huh, interesting. So a regular Squig ranked up to 9 for 929. These Durkit Squigs still have 2 extra stat points. Wow. That's a pretty good unit. They're armor-piercing anti-infantry. They have scaly skin to dampen or deflect the damage caused by missile weapons, so 25% missile resistance, and they do poison attacks. So stats, 28 melee attack, 28 melee defense, decent charge bonus at 26, not massive, but they have bonus versus infantry of 10 and 19 armor-piercing damage. And 60 leadership, which is pretty good. What's the regular guy's got? 50. Yeah, that's not bad. This is a pretty good value, it looks like. That Durgat Squig. Alright. Next unit we're going to look at is the Savage Orc Boar Boys at 750 gold, the same cost as the Durgat Squigs. They are anti-infantry. They have war paint and armor piercing, so the war paint is 25% physical resistance. They do have frenzy, which is 12% weapon damage increased, 8% charge bonus, 8 melee attack, and makes them immune to psychology if their leadership is above 50%, which is, what's that? 25 and 4. It's 29. So speed is okay at 64. Their stats are very low though. Melee attack 24, melee defense 14, but very good charge bonus. So these are cycle chargers as well. Armor piercing 20, 10 weapon damage, but doesn't show a true anti-infantry. 750 gold for these guys. So let's see what they cost to rank up. 32 gold, 31, 33, 34, 27, 36, 36, 38, 38 for a total of 1,055 gold at rank 9, starting away from 750. And at rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 7 melee defense. Alright. The next unit is the Orc Boar Boy Big Guns for 950 gold. They are bigger in ardor. They are anti-large and armor piercing. Decent leadership for an orc at 68. Their weapon strength, let me see. They have a true bonus versus large of 12 and 23 armor piercing damage. Charge bonus of 50. They have very low melee attack and very low melee defense, so they're cycle chargers. They can't hang in there and stand and bang with anybody. So what does it cost to chevron them up? They start at 950 gold. Their first chevron is 38 gold, 37, 39, 40, 31, 42, 42, 44, 44, for a total of 1,307 gold, starting away at 950. And at that rank 9, you get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 9 melee defense. Alright, next unit is the Orc Boar Chariot. For 1,000 gold, it is armored, armor piercing, and anti-infantry. Let's see if they have a true bonus versus infantry. They do, and it's plus 18. That is pretty beefy. Armor piercing damage of 30, and a charge bonus of 80. Again, very poor melee attack and melee defense for a unit that costs 1,000, but and very low leadership, only 60, but good armor at 90. So really cycle chargers again, like most chariots are. But wow, a lot of damage versus infantry, 18. Okay, so but very slow for a cav. 60, only 60 speed. So let's rank these guys up. They start at 39 gold, 39, 40, 42, 32, 43, 44, 45, 46, for a total of 1,370 gold, starting from 1,000. At that rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 10 melee defense. Next we have the Savage Orc Boar Boy Big Guns. For 1,100 gold, they are bigger in ardor, they have war paint, and their armor piercing. So they have 25% physical resistance, frenzy, which is 12% weapon damage, 8% charge bonus, plus 8 melee attack, and immune to psychology if their leadership is above 50. And their leadership is pretty good, 68. Well, I guess their cost 1,100, that should be pretty good. They have low armor, but they do have that magic resistance. Charge bonus is 60, which is pretty darn good. And 24 armor piercing and 12 regular damage. Let's see what it costs to rank these Savage Orc Boar Boy Big Guns up. And it is 42 gold, 42, 43, 45, 34, 46, 47, 48, 49, for a total of 1,496 gold at rank 9, starting away from 1,100, and that will give them plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and plus 7 melee defense. Really not very good stat buffs for these guys. Only 13 total stat points for 9 chevrons on melee attack and melee defense. Seems kind of weak to me. Alright. And last but not least, we have the Broken Tusk Mob, which very expensive for 1,300 gold. They are a regiment of renown, so they can't be ranked up. They are armored, armor-piercing, anti-large, and bigger and harder. They have 50 charge bonus, melee attack of 30, melee defense of 26, which isn't bad. They're a little faster. They have also 76 leadership, which is quite good, 90 armor, and their weapon strength. True bonus versus large of 12, armor piercing of 23. And they have encourage, so they can make your other units less likely to rout. Alright, on to the missile cavalry and chariots. This is missile. Okay, regular cavalry and chariots, missile cavalry and chariots. Okay, we have the Goblin Wolf Rider archers. For 350 gold, they're very fast, weak against armor, poor leadership. They only have 100 range, but this actually isn't that bad considering how fast these guys are. 92. A lot of other units that do ride don't have a very good range, so 100 is not too bad. Missile damage 16, only 1 armor piercing, very, very weak, only 10 charge bonus, only 18 ammunition, and very poor melee stats, and very low leadership. They do have Vanguard deployment, and they can fire while moving, and they are expendable. So let's see what happens when we rank these guys up and how much it costs. They start at 350 gold. Their first chevron is 20 gold, 19, 21, 22, 19, 24, 24, 26, 26, for a total of 551 gold for our rank 9 Goblin Wolf Rider Archer, which started at 350, and for those 9 chevrons you get plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 7 melee defense, and plus 3 missile damage. Alright, next unit is the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers. They start at 450 gold. They do have poison attack, and they are weak against armor. So both their melee and their ranged attacks are poison. Again, poison is a debuff for 10 seconds. That gives you minus 20% armor piercing missile damage, minus 24% speed, minus 20% weapon damage, minus 20% armor piercing damage, and minus 20% missile damage. They do have a range of 100, which isn't bad. 20 ammunition, which isn't bad either. Their melee stats are quite poor. Very low leadership as well. They can fire while moving. They do have Strider, so they can go through all kinds of mucky terrain without losing any speed. And they have Vanguard deployment. So let's see what it costs to rank these Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers up. They start at 450. Their first chevron is 23 gold, 22, 24, 25, 21, 27, 27, 29, 29, for a total of 677 gold for a rank 9 Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archer, which started at 450, and for that gold you get plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 3 missile damage. Alright, on to the next unit. We have here the Goblin Wolf Chariot. For only 500 gold, they are anti-infantry, very fast. Yeah, 92 is very fast. Now let's look at their weapon strength. 24. Well, they do have a true bonus versus infantry. And they have armor piercing damage of 6, so bonus versus infantry of 12. Yeah, their melee attack is only 16 and melee defense is 20. Their charge bonus is 38, so these are truly a charge. Well, I guess they're archers, aren't they? Okay, well, their range is 115. Their missile damage is not bad at 82, but very poor armor piercing. Alright, and let's see what happens when we rank up those Goblin Wolf Chariots. First chevron is 24 gold, 24, 25, 27, 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, for a total of 740 gold. And they started at 500 gold. At rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 4 melee attack, plus 9 melee defense, and plus 17 missile damage. These guys are all, these guys always seem very weak, but maybe they aren't. I don't know. Next unit we have is Mulgrub's Mangy Marauders, Goblin Wolf Archers. They are 600 gold. They have armor piercing missiles, and they're very fast. Interesting. So what's their missile damage? 20? 10 armor piercing. Wow, that's really good. They can fire while moving. They are immune to psychology. Wow. And they have Vanguard deployment. So they have very low armor. Their leadership is low, but being immune to psychology is not nothing. right? So they can't get terror routed, or fear doesn't affect them. Melee attack 24, melee defense 22. Yeah. Weapon strength 24. Very low armor piercing. They really aren't there to charge in. The big deal that they have is that armor piercing missile damage from a range of 100. This is actually quite good. Only 18 ammunition though. Alright. 600 gold for those guys. Then we have Deaf Creepers, which are Forest Goblin, Spider Rider, Archers. They have stock, regeneration, and poison attack. So their regeneration replenishes the hit points of combatants, but makes them weak to fire damage, a 25% debuff to fire damage. I think it would actually be better to have these guys with the regeneration charge in and fight. Their charge bonus is only 14, and their melee attack is 24, melee defense is 32. Actually, those aren't bad stats for a unit of 650. Yeah, that's not bad at all, but that poison, those poison attacks, poison for 10 seconds, minus 20% armor, minus 24% speed, minus 20% weapon damage, minus 20% armor piercing damage, and minus 20% missile damage is not nothing. Stock, they can fire while moving. They have striders, so they can go through water and stuff like that very quickly. And they have Vanguard deployment. So, interesting little unit. Only 54 leadership though. 45 armor, not too bad. That regeneration, well, they could be interesting. Okay, and finally we have the Teeth Robbers, which is a Goblin Wolf Chariot. They are anti-infantry, very fast, and they have Vanguard deployment. So what is their weapon strength? True bonus versus infantry of 12 and armor piercing of 6. They have a range of 115. Their missile damage is 105. Their melee stats are quite poor, and their leadership is still very low. But, sure. 650 gold, they're fairly cheap. Okay, so let's go to Monsters and Beasts. Here we have the Squig Herd. Wait a minute. Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay, the Squig Herd are only 500 compared to those Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. Alright. So for 500 gold, what do you get for your Monsters and Beasts? They're armor-piercing anti-infantry, they're a damage dealer, and they do rampage, so they will get out of your control. Their leadership is only 36, which is actually awful. Their melee attack is 26, 40 charge bonus, which is very good, and their weapon strength is 33, so let's look at that. True bonus versus infantry of 11, and 24 armor-piercing damage, which is very, very good. But they definitely have to cycle charge because, well, their melee attack's not bad, 26. They could probably hang in there. They'll get beat up with an 18 melee defense, though. Alright, so Squigs Go Wild. It's an augment constant around themselves. Active if enemy presence is in ability range within 30 meters, plus 12 leadership. If a Squig is not told what to bite, it will bite anything. Me, you, itself, anything. It does have rampage. It's immune to psychology, which is very good. Alright, and speed 58 is not too bad. So let's take a look at, well, it's not great, 58's slow for Cav, but alright, so if they start at 500 gold, what does it cost to chevron these guys up and rank them up? So the first chevron is 24 gold, 24, 25, 27, 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, for a total of 740 gold at rank 9. And that's from starting at 500, and rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 6 melee attack, and plus 6 melee defense. Alright, the next monster and beast to look at is the Troll. For 800 gold. They're armor piercing, they have regeneration, very poor leadership at 40. Speed's not bad at 54 though. Melee attack and melee defense, again these stats aren't bad, 34 and 32. Their weapon strength is 100. They have 70 armor piercing, which is very good. Charge bonus is a little low at 24, but they do have that regeneration, and they do cause fear, which is not nothing. Alright, so what does it cost to rank these guys up? They start at 800. It is 33 gold, 33, 34, 36, 28, 37, 38, 39, 40, for a total of a rank 9 troll costs 1,118 gold, starting from 800. And at rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 7 melee attack, and plus 12 melee defense. So it looks like they're pretty efficient on their stats per chevron. It's not bad at all. Jeez. That's a little, that would go, they would cost 1100, but have 41 melee attack and 44 melee defense. That's not too bad. And 50 leadership, which is quite a bit more. All right. So we'll go down to the artillery and war machines. We start with the basic Goblin Rocklobber for 600 gold. It does have 400 range, which means it's going to be outranged by quite a few artilleries that are up at 440. But 22 ammunition, missile damage 164, 135 of that is armor piercing. Very, very low leadership. And 10 melee attack and 6 melee defense. They are expendable though. And they cannot run. So at 600 gold, let's see how much it costs to chevron these guys up. 27 gold for the first one, 27, 28, 30, 24, 31, 32, 33, 34. For a total of 866 gold for a rank 9 Goblin Rocklobber, starting from 600, and at rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 3 melee attack, plus 4 melee defense, and plus 35 weapon damage. Alright. Next we have the Hammer of Gork, which is a pretty good unit, particularly because it has the Great Green Wallop. Let me see. Oh no. When it hits, things are blinded for 10 seconds. Minus 26 melee attack, minus 40% accuracy, and minus 27 melee defense. Oh boy, if you hit a unit in the back line with these, like a ranged unit, and came in and charged in with even Goblin Wolf Riders, they could really do some damage. It's quite a nice little unit actually. 400 range again. The range is not so great. 22 ammunition. Melee attack and melee defense stats are not too bad. Leadership of 50. Not too bad either. Alright. Good little unit, that Hammer of Gork. And then the Doom Diver Catapult. For 900 gold, it has a guided projectile, so it does tend to hit your targets much more effectively than a Rocklobber or the Hammer of Gork. Very low leadership again, very low stats. 22 armor, only 400 range. The missile damage is 183, which is mostly non-armor piercing. It does have explosive damage though. Alright, so when we start these Doom Diver Catapults off at 900 and rank them up, how much does it cost? Well, 36 gold, 36, 37, 39, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. So a rank 9 Doom Diver Catapult will cost 1,244 gold, starting away at 900. That will give you plus 10 leadership, plus 3 melee attack, plus 4 melee defense, and plus 39 missile damage. Alright, on to the rare monsters and beasts. First we start with the Giant for 1,600 gold. 9,400 hit points. They do cause fear and terror. They're anti-infantry. Let's see if that's a true bonus versus infantry. Nope. Doesn't appear to be. About 150 weapon damage and 400 armor piercing damage. Whatever they hit, they kill. I guess their anti-infantry comes in them because they can hit, maybe 10 units at a time as opposed to 1 or 3 or something like that. Yeah, 550 weapon damage is pretty good. 65 melee attack is excellent. 30 melee defense is not very good, but they have very low armor. Very good leadership though at 100. Alright, so let's see what happens when we rank these giants up. They start at 1,600 gold and their chevrons are 57, 57, 58, 60, 44, 61, 62, 63, 64. So at rank 9 they are 2,100 gold, 2126. Starting at 1,600 at rank 9 you get plus 10 leadership, plus 10 melee attack, and plus 11 melee defense. Pretty expensive though. Alright, next we have the Arachnarok Spider for 1,900 gold, even more expensive. They're armored, armor piercing, and do poison, and that is in melee they do poison, and they have poison missile damage. They do cause terror and fear, and they have Strider, so they can walk through water pretty quickly, and their armor piercing portion is 280, which is pretty good. 54 melee attack is not bad, but very low melee defense at 30. Good speed at 57 though, but their leadership is quite low at 55. And good ammunition off their back. A range of 100 is actually pretty good. they can hit a lot of things around them. So let's see what these guys cost to rank up. Start at 1900. The first chevron is 66 gold, 66, 67, 69, 50, 70, 71, 72, 73. For a total of 2,504 gold at rank 9 for an Ragnarok. That will give them your 9 chevrons gives you 10 leadership, plus 9 melee attack, plus 11 melee defense, and plus 9 missile damage. Alright, let's take a look compared to the Ragnarok Queen. I just want to rank this guy up to 9 just for a quick second. They're about the same cost. Alright, the Ragnarok Queen still has plus 4 melee attack and minus 1 melee defense. Plus 11 missile damage, even though she is cheaper and has an ability. So the Ragnarok Queen is a regiment of renown, so cannot be ranked up. They're armored. Armored piercing does poison attacks, does cause fear and terror, has Strider, and has this special ability here called Maternal Instinct. Has 5 casts up to 60 seconds apart. Cannot use if the army is full, but it spawns a unit of spider hatchlings. They're good at defending the summoner. The summoned units degrade over time, so they can run around and fight for you. You get 5 casts of that. They have 69 missile damage, which is poison, 67 melee attack, which is actually very, very good, and 40 melee defense. But they are 2,400. That is quite expensive. Alright, and that is it for the Bloody Handz. I don't think I missed anyone or any abilities. If I did, or if there's anything you'd like to see, of course, just comment down below. With that all done, I'll see you soon.